Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. As you could see, I was debating on doing this video in the park because I suddenly realized I have a fear of filming in public, which is why I really wanted to force myself to do this, but it was too confrontational, so I moved myself to this tree where I can be a little more quiet and less bothered of what people around me are thinking. Um, but I'm definitely gonna take that as a challenge to really film in public some point to overcome my own fears. But yeah, I wanted to start by just saying thank you guys because we've reached 1,000 subscribers, and I'm still going to do like a 1,000 subscriber special this month. I have a really cool video idea in mind, but I didn't have time to do that so short notice. So I thought I would just discuss a different topic today. So today I'm just going to talk about the questions I get asked most frequently when I, for example, make a video, when people slide in my DMs, or just from coaching clients in general, just questions that I get a lot, and I thought I would just kind of address them in this video. And the first question has to do with how long it takes to recover. I think this is a question that I literally get from every single person I've ever talked to, whether that is a coaching client, whether that is someone taking my course, whether that is a stranger that is messaging me in my DMs. Every single person asks me how long it takes to recover. And this is probably the question that is least like I can't really answer this. Well, I can and I can't. So every single person is so different. Every single person's recovery process is so different that I can't really put a time on it. I've worked with people that have had depersonalization or existential fears for 10 years and they recover in less than a month. I've had people that have DPDR existential fears for a few weeks and they recover after only a few months. So it is so different for everyone, and I know that the reason why people ask this question is because they want something to kind of get control by. They want to get some control over their recovery process, and they want someone to tell them this is when you will recover, so they have something to hold on to. And while I completely understand where that is coming from, and it's a very normal question to ask, I think it's important to kind of not even answer that question, because when you really surrender yourself to this whole process, knowing that it will take some time and knowing that it will be worth it because you'll learn a lot from it, then you also surrender to whatever time you might need for yourself to heal. DPDR healing and recovery is all about healing trauma, and like dealing with this existential stuff, letting go of control. And the more work you put in, the more actively you actually go dive into this process, the more healing you do, the more you meditate, the more you go to therapy, of course the faster it is that you will heal. So to answer a different question, is recovery possible? 100% yes. So this is maybe a better question. I do think that every single person is able to recover. In my experience with coaching, I think almost everyone that I've worked with has been able to recover or feel better or on a recovery journey. And they sometimes are people that have struggled for a long time, not really feeling confident in their recovery. So that is the first question I wanted to answer. Then the second question is one I get all the time, which is, what does recovery look like? How does it feel to be recovered, and when do you know that you are recovered? Like that, those kind of questions. Again, I think this has to do with a little bit with searching for control, but I, on the other hand, think that every single question around DPDR and existential anxiety has to do with wanting to get control. But yeah, I had actually addressed this topic in one of my last videos, like what recovery looks like. But shortly, how do you know when you're recovered is when you stop asking yourself if you're recovered. Because a big symptom of DPDR is constantly focusing on everything you feel, constantly focusing on your symptoms, your questions, kind of when that is your main priority, you're always occupying your mind with it. And in that sense, DPDR recovery is kind of like recovering from a breakup. The moment you don't even think about your ex anymore, the moment you don't even like the moment you it's been a week and you're like, oh man, I haven't thought about this person for a long time, that is a moment you know you're healed from a breakup. And it's kind of the same with DPDR recovery. The moment everything feels normal, you don't even ask yourself if things are normal again. And I think there comes a point where you start to feel kind of normal again, but not completely. And that is the moment you know you are recovering, the moment you are doing well, the moment you are getting towards that end goal. But the true moment when you're recovered is when you're happy and peaceful again. And when you're happy and peaceful, you don't even want anything to change. You just surrender to life as it is. And that is the true goal. So the moment that you know you're recovered is the moment you don't even need things to be different anymore. Then the third question I get asked so many times, and it's like more a general construction of a question, but it is filled in by different kind of questions. But the general question I get is it normal when you have DPDR to experience da da da? Is it normal for me to think about no no no? Is it normal for me to no no no? Always a question, is it normal to, and then a specific symptom that one experiences when going through DPDR. My answer is always yes, because if it wasn't normal, it wouldn't be happening. The reason that it's happening is because subconsciously, in your mind, in your body, there's something going on, crying for attention, that needs healing, that needs care. And so every symptom you have is just a surface reflection of something deeper that is going on that needs to be resolved. So of course it's normal because it's not coming from nowhere. It does not mean that you're going crazy. It just means that there is something, some kind of stress, some kind of issue within you that needs to be resolved. And I have never met a person that has DPDR, that had DPDR, that had existential fears, that went crazy. But still, every single person I work with thinks that they are gonna go crazy, which means that it's also just a symptom of DPDR to feel like the symptoms you're having aren't normal, to feel like what you're going through isn't normal, and to basically resist every single feeling that you have. So I guess to answer the question, is it normal to experience this and this and this? Yes, everything is normal because otherwise it wouldn't be there. And embracing that it's there, embracing that it's showing you something that subconsciously needs more attention, that subconsciously needs to be resolved, is the way to fix it. So, of course, it's normal. And also, you asking that question, if it's normal, is again you trying to gain some kind of control. So, be mindful of that. And then the last question that I get asked a lot that I'm gonna deal with today, because the other questions are kind of always, they come back to one of the questions that I already talked about is, do you have tips for my recovery? And I understand where this question comes from for a lot of people, because I think I get this question 2 or 3 times per day in my DMs, like, do you have a tip for me for my recovery? Can you tell me how to recover? And my answer is always the same. It's, I can't tell you in a message because you need to be patient with yourself. If recovering from DPDR would be a quick fix, it would be very easy. If there was like one tip that would kind of make it all go away, it would be so easy, and I think it wouldn't be such a long, challenging process. But the general tip, if there was one tip I could give you that really does help, and this is the one that I use myself, is to practice acceptance and to practice surrender. I keep repeating this over and over and over again, but your struggles are not coming from life itself. Your struggles are not coming from your emotions. Your struggles are not coming from something being wrong with your brain, something being wrong with your body. Your struggles and your suffering is coming from you resisting every single emotion you have, every single part about life that is just the way it is, such as death, such as the infinity, such as space and time. And I think understanding that is very liberating, because it means that you are responsible for how you feel on the inside. You can never change life. You can never change this moment. You can only embrace it as it comes and try to surrender to it, because the moment you surrender to life as it is, you bring yourself to peace. Peace means being okay with life exactly as it is. And when you are at peace, you start processing things very differently. It's like if you look at the world through a very dark, scary emotion, the world literally feels scary and dark. But if you look at the world through a very happy, positive emotion, the world literally looks very different. And you can't change the world because it is exactly the way it is. But the moment you get to peace about the world, the moment you surrender to the world and choose to be okay with exactly as it is, you get to peace, and you then therefore start seeing the world very differently. So that part is always in your control, and that is what I always emphasize a lot on. So if there was one tip I could give you, it would be that. But the most important tip I can give you is to really give yourself time, surrender to this whole process, because it's teaching you a lot as well on healing yourself, healing your traumas, learning about life from a new perspective, opening up to being okay with looking at life through a new perspective, and connecting a little bit more spiritually. So if any one of you that is watching this video wants to dive a little deeper together with me in their recovery journey, you can know that you can always schedule a free intake session with me. This is just 20 minutes where we talk a little bit, we get to know each other. You can ask me questions about my coaching, about my course, and I can see, I can let you tell your story to see if we would be a match working together. So yeah, and if you are interested in joining my recovery course, I'll put a link in the description. As I've said before, it's fully refundable if it doesn't help you, so you don't have to stress about it not helping you and investing your money in it. No, guys, that recovery is possible. I know that you feel like it isn't, but that is a part of the symptoms that you're going through. The feeling like you can't recover is just another symptom. So try to look at it like that and keep having faith in your recovery, because I have full faith in you. We are striving through this spiritual awakening, existential crisis together. We're coming out at the other end. I'm seeing people recover. I'm seeing people find peace and healing, and it's just the most beautiful thing ever to witness. And I know that if they can do it and if I can do it, that you can do it too. So I hope this answered some of your questions. And yeah, keep in tuned for my 1000 subscriber special, because we're gonna do something very fun. I'll put that up probably next week or something. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys a lot for subscribing and for watching my videos. So thank you again, and I'll see you in my next video.